Hi, my name is Jaron Taylor, and this is my story and how God has moved through my life. So in my ninth grade summer, my parents went through a time of arguing and disorder in the home, and after a couple months of that, they divorced. And when that had happened, I moved in with my mom and my dad left. He moved somewhere else in Middle City, and during that time, I was moving in between homes for about a year and a half. And throughout all that, I was kind of confused and not very happy with the situation I was put in because it just didn't feel like God needed me to be there. Between that time, I found Jason and Christina telling me to take advantage of the situation God has put me in because good can come from it, and there's a reason that God has me where He has me. So in my sophomore year of high school, I was going to Carl Albert High School in Middle City, and I became friends with a couple people, and one of the girls in particular, she'd never heard, she had heard of God, but not in the way that we have. And so when I had talked to her about God and explained how He died for us and how He came back to life, and just witnessed to her basically, she came to know Christ by coming to church and hearing it from Brother Keith and Jason, and then seeing how our God truly is and how He moves. And she ended up becoming saved and got baptized here, and now she attends a church in Middle City, and she's been pursuing her faith and trying to grow in her faith closer to God. So after about a year and a half of moving between homes and not really being in a stable situation, I decided that this isn't where God wants me to be, because I kept having that feeling that God didn't want me to be there. So I took the chance and moved in with my grandma on my dad's side of the family. We call her me mom, and I moved in with her. And I stayed with her for about 2 days, and then I got a message from my aunt, whom I hadn't talked to in about 8 years. The last time I was there, I think we were having Thanksgiving at her house or something along the lines of a big dinner. But I got a text from her, and she said, "Hey Jaron, I've heard of your situation, and I just have an extra room, and I was wondering if you would be willing to take it." And right away I was like, yeah, I think this is what I want to do, because I was so scared to be a burden on my grandma. When I moved in with her, it was really the first time I had found a sense of really stability in where I was living. And I had, when I first moved into the room, I could definitely tell that it used to be a girl's room. And that's how I wanted to be a girl's room. No, I'm just kidding. I definitely was surprised to see the room and how nice it looked. And it was, I didn't even care that it was a girl's room. I was just happy to have a room. And she eventually, over a couple months, she changed it all out and made it into a boys' room, which was super nice. And I was super grateful for that, and I truly felt blessed by God for it. During that time, I think it was between the moves that I lost a bunch of my clothes, and I didn't have very many pieces of clothing to wear, and I kind of found myself wearing the same thing every other week or something like that. And then my aunt, I come home one day from school and found like 40 different articles of clothing in my closet and a bunch of new socks and underwear, which I desperately needed. And I was super happy to see that, and I was just like in shock of what had been going on, because I was like, this is really something what God has blessed me with. I'm happy with where I am. And then one morning, I came in my room and actually found this book from my aunt. It's called My Utmost for His Highest by Oswald Chambers. And within it, she had wrote on January 1st of 2021, she said, "To Jaron from Aunt Sherry, keep your faith in God and in yourself to do the best you can no matter the circumstance." And when I read that, I truly felt that that is where God wanted me to be. And it was super surprising and truly a blessing to feel that there. Throughout the times of living there, there was a time where I bought my first car, and it took everything I had in my savings. And then my uncle figured out the situation, so I had to buy a new plate, I had to buy a new tag, I had to put put a title in my name and a bunch of other stuff. The front end of my car had been destroyed from when the person that drove it last had it, and I had to get that replaced. And it was over $500 worth of purchases that I couldn't afford at the time. And then my uncle paid for all of it for me and said I could pay him back however much I could at a time. And that was definitely a blessing. I don't even know how to explain it. It was just, that was God working. I felt it the whole way, and I continuing to trust God in the circumstances that He has me in.